ever conceived in the city. A 17-kilometer harborfront cycleway along Victoria Harbour.
A lot of people here who are what I would call keen cyclists. People who go road racing, mountain biking, or regular commuters, or people who are in a club. A lot of people for a long time have been asking for cycling on the harbourfront, and the time is now.
Martin Turner owns a marketing company and commutes to work. In 2012, his group, Hong Kong Cycling Alliance, proposed a cycleway to the Harbourfront Commission that oversees developments in Victoria Harbour.
We've outlined a proposal for the route, and it's very possible, it's very doable. This is Kennedy Town. This is where the Harbourfront cycleway will start. There'll be a rental pickup point here. The cycleway doesn't have to be adjacent to the water within 5 meters. It will allow people to move along and get from one part of the harbourfront to another.
Such as?
Outside the public cargo working area. The Western Wholesale Food Market. Past the Shuntak Centre. The Central Star Ferry Piers. The new Central Harbourfront, the Gold Bahenia at the tip of the Convention Centre, under the Island Eastern Corridor. Pass between the struts, supports there. Quarry Bay Promenade, a great long stretch of our harbourfront.
A cycleway at the heart of urban Hong Kong, which Martin hopes can help transform Victoria Harbour from what it is today. Unconnected and inaccessible in some areas. This construction site blocks passage along the waterfront in Western District, as well as the cycleway's route.
There's some construction work and a storage area. I think it may be to do with the MTR development for the new line here. It's temporary work. The government's already promised us, the harbourfront should be connected and continuous. So we're holding the government to that. The cycleway is there to make it usable as well as connected and continuous.
Further along, next to the Western Harbour Tunnel entrance, yet another fenced-off area.
We've all agreed that the harbour front should be opened up. At the moment, this place is a tip. It's a lorry park, and there's rubbish everywhere, and it's a waste. This is a beautiful view. This area is not open to the public.
Over in North Point, the Island Eastern Corridor blocks street-level view of the harbour for 2 kilometres.
This highway, it's an abomination. It should never have been put here.
To provide pedestrian access to the North Point waterfront, the government plans to build a 2-kilometre boardwalk underneath the highway. Martin is lobbying for a bike lane to be included as part of the cycleway's North Point route. The Civil Engineering and Development Department is now studying this proposal. From North Point, the next scenic stop, the newest promenade to be built along the harbour. The Quarry Bay Promenade is managed by the Leisure and Cultural Services Department, or LCSD.
At the moment, it's run under the normal LCSD rules. No cycling, no balloons, no lying down. The government is, at the moment, approaching its development of the harbourfront in a very piecemeal way. Each area is being developed as a park and given over to LCSD. That's not good enough.
The government's official policy is to discourage cycling in urban areas and confine it in the new territories where some 200 kilometers of cycle tracks have been built. The latest to open in 2013, a 92 million Hong Kong dollar, 1.5 kilometer cycle track in Chung Pano. But the Transport Department has objected to the harborfront cycleway. A spokeswoman says,
roads in Hong Kong's urban areas are usually narrow and crowded. With busy traffic and frequent loading and unloading activities as well, it is difficult to find suitable space for building cycle tracks in urban areas without affecting traffic.
In a paper submitted to the Harbourfront Commission, the department cites obvious problematic areas. Victoria Park Road in Causeway Bay, where the cycleway is proposed to pass. Traffic flow peaks here at 4,700 vehicles per hour during evening rush hour. Two-way cycleway would take up 4.5 meters of the road. One traffic lane is normally 3.5 meters wide and can carry 1,400 vehicles per hour. The Transport Department says,
this will significantly reduce the overall road capacity and is likely to cause serious bottleneck.
The cycleway is pretty straightforward most of the way. Along here we've got a pinch point, so either we're going to overhang the water or maybe a lane of the traffic can be reduced because, hey, we're going to have fewer cars around. Transport Department raised a few concerns they had. One was that the Shun Tak Centre is a private property, and I'm sure that the owners would be able to be persuaded to join in the spirit of Hong Kong and help open up our harbour. Alternatively, we could have a cantilevered cycleway on the outside of the building, and which would run above where the ferries dock and below the walkways across there.
The department also says the cycleway would disrupt the Western District public cargo working area.
The cycleway won't pass through the public cargo working area itself. It'll be just outside. There'll be a junction at the main entrance.
Another concern, the Western wholesale food market.
The operations of the market here won't be affected significantly. Plenty of room, not much traffic, and the workings inside the area there, it's actually quite underused.
The Transport Department is also worried a cycleway would endanger people in parks along the waterfront, as well as tourists in Wan Chai. Martin says space can be shared safely between cyclists and pedestrians.
The idea that the pedestrians are separate from the cyclists is a false one. The people walking around here and the people cycling around here are the same people, integrating, mixing, they're not separate.
And he says the cycleway doesn't have to be a protected lane with a physical buffer all the way.
We shouldn't fall into the trap of thinking that cycling can only happen on a fixed pathway, on a cycle track with separation from everybody else. That's not how it works in the rest of the world, and there's no reason why Hong Kong should be treating itself any differently.
All the successful waterfronts around the world mingle people and bicycles and dogs and children.
Nicholas Brook, Chairman, Harbourfront Commission.
Generally supportive of the idea of having allowing bikes along the waterfront. It's high on the Commission's agenda.
But he says not for the entire proposed route.
Entire, I think, is ambitious, probably too ambitious, because government doesn't own the whole of the waterfront, which even 70 to 80% is still. And the Commission will have the discretion to decide whether they allow bikes and how they allow bikes along the waterfront. So I know the Transport Department has the final say. I mean, obviously, we will involve them.
But ultimately, the Development Bureau has the last say on the cycleway's fate. Latest government data showed 30% more bike-related road accidents than a decade ago. They kill on average 10 cyclists a year.
This is a sort of tribute to the dead. This is called the ghost bike. We spray it white and put it at accident sites to commemorate the injured and the dead and to raise awareness about bike safety.
His first ghost bike was for cyclists killed by a lorry in Tung Chung last June.
We bikers don't care. We care about us.
This one, second ghost bike, is for a container port worker killed also this year by a lorry in Kwai Chung while biking to work.
哋而家喺度出發啦，沿住呢條深旺道，我哋深旺道去到東京街。有冇問題？係小心貨櫃車。我哋會有一個。
We have a minute's silence. Put flowers atop the bike.
When there is news someone has died or been injured in a bike crash, people forget it completely after 2 days. We want people to remember so that they know why accidents happen all the time.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Tuesday and Saturday, as well as on tvb.com. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck, and good health.